On this episode, we talk about the dangers of social media, what you should post, what you shouldn't post, what could get you in trouble. My guest, Pete Geldis, is here to help us sort all of that out. Atlas All Access starts now. Pete, I feel weird that Justin isn't here with us.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
it's kind of strange.
I know. He's a busy person sometimes, and I'm not busy at all.
That you're not busy whatsoever.
I've always got a ton of time. Don't worry about it.
Us, at least.
Yes.
All right. So it's come up recently because of social events, right? That I don't even want to talk about. But let's talk about the dangers of some of the stuff that you may post, share, whatever, through Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. God forbid LinkedIn. I don't even know, if that's even a forum to share some of this stuff. But let's talk through some of that stuff first, and then we'll get into some more like safety things after that. It seems like social media kind of goes through this cycle once every, I don't know, year to 2 years, or something like that, where some big social event will happen and everybody likes to post about it, and then it's there forever. And all you have to do is scroll back through somebody's feed and you'll see it, right?
Absolutely.
Regardless of what you think or how you feel or whatever. I know you have some pretty strong feelings about other things out there besides what we do, but then you're very careful about what you post and when you post, or if you post things like that.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. So talk about that just a little bit. Like, what stops you from I totally agree with whatever this says, but I'm not going to hit the share button.
What helps me is just understanding that what you put out there is you. Like I know it, but what you put out there is you. And do I really want to put something out there that's going to be controversial just to start something? Like, I can think what I think, and I can believe in what I can believe in, but whether you agree with me or not really has no effect on how I feel or really what I do. So why do I want to put something out there just for argument's sake? What you put on social media, it's just words. It's just like a text. Like, you don't know how that context is being held up. You don't know how that context is being received, right? I think that's one of the biggest things that I didn't want to, or that keeps me from posting anything like that, because I really just don't. I'm not a drama-filled person. I don't like drama, so I don't really like to start drama.
So let's talk about, because we toe the line on satire a lot. Like Pete and Justin, the Pete and Justin page is based on satire, right? I mean, it's rooted in that,
right?
So talk to me about the difference between just like a straight punch you in the mouth political post and like satire.
I think that when you're talking politics on social media, like, to me, that's I just hate it all. All right. No matter what, I don't even know. Like, when we talk about satire and we talk about, those things, I think that the funniest, like, satirical type of comedy is something that's very close to people, is something that people believe in very heavily. And, I don't know. I don't like to get into political arguments. And if I do, it'll be like the most asinine argument in the world. Like, it'll be like 0 to 150. And you'll be like, is this guy even serious about what he's saying? And no, I'm not. But
some people take it that seriously, though, right? And that's where the problems come into play.
Yes.
I think that's where you really, really get in. You really have issues, is because to some people, that's real life. And regardless of whether it is or not, or what you think, or how much you're on social media or whatever, that's real life to you. And so, as much as you said, like, you are what you post, like, that is a reflection of you or whatever. The further you go and the more that you push it, the more it just doesn't look good.
It's true.
And I think that's the part I struggle with the most is social media is such a great fun environment, but it can get super ugly super quick.
Oh, it can. It can, and it can spin out of control a lot faster than anything else. And I hate to continue just to harp on political posts or anything like that, but the thing is like, you put one post on that and you have 900 followers. You have 900 people that may not all think the same, may not all believe the same, and you start a thread and people argue on the thread and they get through and it's like this, and it's like, and I believe me, I mean, I've been parts of that. I think that anybody that's on social media has been a part of something like that, and it's not until like seriously like 2 hours afterwards that you're like, dude, I am so stupid.
That was
like,
so not
What
smart.
am I doing?
Right.
Like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Like, what did that just accomplish? And I think it's hard to sometimes pull yourself back from those things, but I think that it's imperative that you do that.
Finally, let's talk just a little bit about, because you have a background in safety. I know you've done a little bit of you've had a background in law enforcement. Let's talk a little bit about safety online, just because it kind of goes along with the same things, what you post, when you post it, that type of thing. Give me just one or two really quick kind of tips, like you should or should not do this, especially if you're on a contract away from home.
If you're a travel nurse, what I would do and what I would recommend first and foremost is privacy on your page. No matter what, privacy on your page. Being a police officer and all of that stuff, it was pounded into our head that our pages need to be private, and they do. I didn't want to work with some of the people that I had to come in contact with there, knowing where I lived, what my house looked like, what my car looked like, what my wife, what my kids, things like that. Knowing anything about my personal life, because that's where things get dangerous. But make sure that privacy setting is up as high as you can. Because there are a lot of instances that you're 800 miles away from home, that you don't know anybody, that you don't, you don't have a lot of friends there yet. Right. Now, when you get there, you're going to have a ton of friends. You're going to have a good support system, and it always works out, right? But the fact of the matter is you want to stay private. You want this life to be a private life. There's too much that can be learned about people on social media. First thing that anybody does once they meet you, when they talk to you on the phone, whenever we had any sort of suspect in anything, first thing we're doing, checking social media, 100%. We want to see what's going on. We want to see that page. We want to see what you're doing.
Yep.
And really a lot about your life can be taken off of social media.
Absolutely.
And
the pictures you post and the things that you talk about and things like that. Absolutely.
There are a lot of apps and things like that with location sharing. I know Facebook has these now. You had Foursquare. You have a lot of those types of things. Do you want to share your location when you're sending out posts? Those, just that type of thing. First thing that I would do is I'm by myself. I'm somewhere far away. I mean, when we're talking safety, we don't want the location sharing things on. We don't want those apps on. Location sharing has been used quite a bit for a lot of human trafficking and things of that nature. I've actually worked quite a few cases to where children have been lured off of the internet or off of Facebook sites or TikTok or anything like that to adults and things like that.
Sure.
But location sharing services, that's a big one. Location sharing services. Another thing too is that a lot of people want to capture the moment and be in the moment, right? You want to capture the moment, be in the moment. You get to a club, you get to someplace like that. First thing you do is take a selfie, send it out. Hey, we're partying at the Starlight tonight. Blah 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 blah. That's for somebody that's savvy, and if somebody wants to actually, if somebody's putting in the groundwork to make a move or to do something like that, those are, those are the ways that they do it.
Sure.
Watch your social media, those types of accounts. Another thing is make sure that when you're friending people, you know them. Don't just be willy-nilly letting anybody see your pages, see your things, anything. I know that there are a lot of, like your Instagrams and things like that people follow you and you have a lot of followers. All right. You got to be wary about the things that you're putting on there, with your backgrounds, where you're living, what you're doing. anything like that. You never know who your audience is in those situations. And when you don't know your audience, you don't know who's there watching.
Sure.
And I don't want to make it sound like, somebody's always stalking you or somebody's always behind you, but you just never know.
You don't know.
You don't.
Right.
And for safety purposes, I mean, that's really, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Well, Pete, I appreciate you being with us today.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on.
Next time we'll have Justin on with us. And
yeah, I'm sure Justin will get a lot of good insight on whatever it is we're talking about.
He would have nodded and said, yep. He would agree with you a lot.
Very smart person.
Absolutely.
In a lot of things. So.
We miss you, Justin.
We do.
Yeah.
Wish I knew where he was.
All right.
All right.
We'll see you next week.